Well, good evening and welcome to Senior Info. We have a full boat tonight, full crowd. We're going to talk about senior games. And of course, Davis Cox, you've been a regular here. Kathy, you're almost a regular. You've been here a number
Almost
of times.
regular, nice.
Yeah.
I'm in the first timer club, I
This
guess.
is- Yes. And this
The
is
new
Jeff
guy.
Sturges, who's a member of the senior games. You're part of the staff.
Right, I'm the vice chairman these days, as well as the event director for the Winter Games, ski racing at Wachusett,
Which
which,
we're featuring right here.
Yeah,
This is
yeah.
a picture from the Winter Games.
that's right,
Is that
from
you?
last year's. No, that's not me.
This is at Mount Wachusett.
Wasn't fast enough to pick you out. I tried to pick you out, but
He's too quick.
yeah, it was too quick. Yeah, you're down that hill.
Of course, Kelly is with us. And I'm here as usual. Losing my voice though.
I would notice that. We'll
Yeah.
have to do some lemon water or something for you.
Little
Oh.
gargle and
Yeah.
I was suggested to check on my prescriptions. I wonder if I'm taking something that's causing me to lose my,
Oh.
which is possible.
Could be.
I think it's just allergies. You know that your nose starting to run already and everything. Spring is in the air.
It is. Well, let's
things
hope
are
it
starting
is.
to come up for sure.
The trees are budding. But anyway, you've got a big week coming up, Jeff, with the,
Well, we certainly do. There's a lot of racing going on at Wachusett this weekend, part of the end-of-season league racing, the so-called great race is Saturday, the good race is on Sunday, and then this coming Wednesday, of course, is the Mass Senior Games racing there. And we hold a two-run giant slalom as well as a one-run Super G. And the Super G is the longer and faster of the two, so it's like the only time you get to put your long skis on and not worry about running into somebody coming down the slope. So that's one of the things that makes it very popular amongst the ski racers up there.
and the weather's been good for you as far as skiing.
It has been. It's
So
been.
the
I
slope- the
skied
slope's in good
yesterday.
shape.
It was a little bit, a little bit of rain and stuff. But
Right.
the Wachusett is always very good about making snow up until February vacation, and then they're typically open well into April because they'll push snow around
Right.
from one slope to another to make sure that it's good, especially for the end of season racing.
It's good.
Yeah, they do a great job over there. And
Oh, they really do. The Crowley family is the same folks that own Polar Beverages, but
Yes.
their dad was the one that started that, and Jeff Crowley, who's the general manager, will be racing. I just saw his entry here earlier today.
Oh.
So,
Oh,
and he's a very, very good racer, as you
bet.
could imagine. Yeah.
Yeah.
How's it turn out this year, Jeff?
Well, so far we've got almost 50, and what often happens is we'll get quite a few in the
Oh,
last
I'm sure
couple
you
days.
will.
Yeah,
Is it-
we last year we had I think 73.
Yeah.
And I've got a lot of the flyers, which Harry, you've got a copy of that right here.
Yes.
I'll be passing those out on Saturday and Sunday at the Good Race and the Great Race, which are as I say, the culminating races for the race league at Wachusett. So,
and this can be very exciting for spectators as well.
oh, sure, absolutely, yeah.
To see these people come flying
Oh,
down
and-
that mountain.
Yep, absolutely, yeah. We usually have lots of family spectators in particular, but, and sometimes the kids out there to watch their, yeah, exactly. Parents and grandparents,
Parents.
Kelly,
And great
exactly.
grandparents, maybe?
Don't
know if
It
they're
could
that
be,
old.
yeah.
Could be. Is that
What
not-
is the age range? I'm sorry.
Okay, well, Massachusetts Senior Games starts at age 40. The
Right.
National Senior Games starts at age 50. But for the skiing, we've also recently opened it up to 30 and up, just to add to participation, because those are folks that typically we've been racing with in the leagues up there all season long. And so we want to have as many folks participating as we can. But
Nice.
it's all handicapped by age group, so.
Right, you got 30 to 49, and then 10-year and 50 plus, and 5-year increments.
That's correct. So all the 30-somethings are competing against each other, men and women separately,
Okay.
and the 40-somethings. And then it goes 50 to 54, or 55 to 59, and so on in those 5-year
There's
increments.
a $75 fee to participate.
It is, and that basically goes to the mountain for
Right.
the race
Yeah.
setup that they put together.
Expensive
And
to
we
get
have
that place out.
wonderful buffet,
Yes.
during the awards ceremony, and they also have an open bar here. So,
Wow.
well, open. I mean, it's open. It's you
okay.
pay.
Cash bar.
You can walk in
Should
the door.
clarify
Open
that.
bar.
Yeah.
I think we're all gonna go. Why
Yeah.
don't we?
Well,
Yeah.
It's on my calendar.
75 is pretty good for that.
Yeah. At current buy prices, you can drink that pretty quick. But the spectators are free.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So, if you just wanna go and watch some great skiing, make a good time for a family.
It's a lot of fun.
And that is this Saturday coming up, right?
No, that's this Wednesday
This
coming up.
Wednesday.
Yeah.
Oh, time is flying.
I was gonna ask, can we find that on our website?
Oh, absolutely. Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yep.
It's
So-
on the maseniorgames.org website, as well as all the other numerous events that we have. And in the wintertime we have hockey, basketball, then the traditional Olympic style events, track and field, swimming, bicycling, but we're also adding lots of other events. There's shooting events, archery, pistol shooting, in the senior games. Oh my gosh, the list is as long as your arm. But,
I
And
did go
actually,
to the
look
hockey
at,
tournament
Davis's has the list right
in
there.
Worcester a couple of years ago. Those guys are amazing. I mean, you're gonna see some good, fantastic skating. And these are guys in their 70s and 80s.
yeah. Well, you should see the ski racers, the
Yes,
older guys.
Yeah. I mean, it's almost like you wanna do better than the young guys.
Well, we always do.
Yeah.
Want to, anyway.
For sure.
So it's not just ski, it's snowboard.
There's snowboard as well. That's right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
wow.
great.
Yeah.
Yeah, they go down the same course, but they're scored and handicapped differently from the skiers, so it makes it fair for them as well. But there's folks there that they have race snowboards that are specifically made for going through a giant slalom course.
Wow.
Those guys really amazed me on that one board going down at really unbelievable speeds.
Oh yeah, I mean they're almost as fast as the skiers.
Yeah, and then they do those jumps.
Well, we don't encourage that amongst the senior games, Harry, but but they do. Yeah, and Wachusett has what they call a park there, and it's
ski board.
available for freestyle skiers as well as the snowboarders. And I think they have to sign special waivers to be
Well, I
able to
bet.
do that.
Yeah, I would
and,
think so, because they don't want to be
Do
sued.
the
Yeah.
tricks and whatnot. Absolutely. That's fantastic.
That is kind of the start of the year for the senior games,
Yeah, that's our first event for sure. Yeah.
right? And then, what's the next thing we get into, Davis?
Well, you mentioned that earlier, and that is the ice hockey,
Which is in May.
which is in May, and I'd like to mention that there are 6 games, or 6 days, 6 days of hockey with 6 games per day.
Wow.
In the first 3 days, the 70-year-olds play. And no, the 60-year-olds play, and the last 3 days, the 70-year-olds play. And we have plans, I have plans, being the marketing director, to fill that stadium with people from the senior centers, if I can get the transportation
Great.
and cover that, because those people play their hearts out anyway, and they
Oh,
would
yeah.
just love to have spectators in there.
And
And
once again, it's open to the public for free.
it's free, it is free.
And
All
it's
of our games are free. Now, not all of them can accommodate a lot of spectators.
Right.
You take something like table tennis. It's in a very small place downtown Boston. you can put maybe 3 or 4 people, relatives in there, but, so don't expect to come and watch.
Right.
I wish you could, because these tabletop tennis players play their hearts out.
record it?
All of our games.
Do you record it?
We haven't so far,
Okay.
but now that Kathy's introduced me to the concept of being able to broadcast on Facebook,
Mm-hmm.
we may be doing some of that these
Absolutely.
days, and I think that is a fantastic way to publicize our
Absolutely.
thing. Okay,
Yeah.
You
really.
could showcase it, and then people would see what it actually entails, and
Yeah.
then be like, I want to do that, or I can do that, or how fun.
Well,
Yeah.
one of the things,
Let's
maybe
go see
Harry,
it.
if I could bring up now. Okay, so
Yeah.
we've been in business since 1991. Okay, and for the past 2 years, this will be the second year, we have designated a week. And it's coming up in March 17th to 23rd. It's called the National Senior Games Week.
Oh, okay.
And in that week, we're going to have things like clinics, pickleball, shuffleboard,
Power walking,
power walking,
cornhole,
cornhole,
basketball.
whatever it will be on our website. So our website is maseniorgames.org. Oh, no, that's not true. That's that's our website. maseniorgames.org. It'll be there, the clinics. Also, what we're going to do is, during that week, is to post, celebrate some of our athletes. I've asked a number of athletes, and I'll be calling them, and I'll be interviewing them, and I'll do some short bios, like, how did you find out about the games? How long have you been involved in it? And what benefits would you like to share with the people? And get an action picture, if I may, of their sport. Now, a lot of them are multi-sports, like myself, but we'll get an action picture or some kind of a picture, and there will be a write-up, and we're going to put them on Facebook. And what I'm going to do is, after we did a radio recording today, and we're doing this recording, I'm going to blast that out to our 3,700 database. And I'm going to give them the links to these 2 interviews we've got, and I'm also going to ask them to do the following things. I want them to go to our Facebook page and like it, so that they get the feeds and they'll get to see those interviews. And if they don't get the feeds, I'm going to say check our Facebook page every day during that week and take a look at some of these short biographics of these athletes. And if you like them, if you think they'll be inspirational, then share them with your database and ask that database to share them. And there was an old commercial years ago that if you shared it with 2 people and those 2 people shared it with 2 more and those 2 people shared it 2
Right.
more, pretty soon you'd cover the universe. Well, that's the only way that we're going to, without a marketing budget, be able to make people in Massachusetts aware of the best kept secret that's been going on since 1991. Okay,
That's right.
so
Well,
please.
we were talking earlier on the radio, you've actually increased every year. And
Oh yeah.
participants.
We this year we had a very great increase. Last year there were 991. That's down a little bit from our best year, which was about 1,000. But 1,221 people participated last year. And if we add, if we just take the cap off of pickleball, we'll add another 100 or 200. It is the only game that we got that there's a limit, because you can only stuff so many people. It's so popular.
Right.
Okay, you can only stuff so many people in a gymnasium. Okay, so you have to go to another gymnasium. Okay.
There's so many courts you can fit in a gym.
Yeah, there's
too.
only so many courts you
There's
can
only so many
fit.
places you can get a
Yeah,
court.
right.
And I can tell you, we have pickleball here in town, built a court, and it got so busy they had to set up an app.
To schedule
The
times.
schedule-
Oh, yeah,
the schedule
absolutely.
use.
But it's happening all over,
Yeah.
okay? It's
No,
hard to believe.
I live in Marlboro, and the tennis courts there were being underutilized, so with the guidance of our senior games chairman, Dennis Pollard, they've converted a lot of those tennis courts to pickleball courts, and they
And they
call,
jammed.
they call Dennis the mayor of pickleball in Marlboro.
Oh,
So,
that's so
sure.
funny.
He's
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
pickleball hero.
It's amazing, I mean, people are really into it. I
Yeah.
think it's not as strenuous as tennis, and that's why. It's a little more exciting than badminton, and not as strenuous as tennis. So people enjoy it. And they make a lot of noise too.
Yes.
That's the big complaint. We were gonna have another pickleball court, but the neighborhood voted it down.
well, you got to get some of them playing.
Yes,
That's right,
Well,
they'll be all over it
that's
for
the
sure.
secret.
but anyway, yeah, you got new medals coming up this year.
Well, we do, and we brought these in because we wanted to award these to you folks. These are the first of the 2024. Here's a gold for you,
Oh,
Harry,
yay.
and
You got the
Kelly,
gold.
you,
Oh, good.
silver.
I get the
You know, I
silver.
didn't know there were going to be two folks, or we
That's-
would have worked that out. But
That's
anyway.
okay. Oh,
Yeah.
these are beautiful.
But please.
Yeah,
Oh, nice.
And that's what we'll be handing out next Wednesday, you know, for the skiers and
Yeah.
snowboarders and stuff. So,
Oh,
yeah.
that's
Thank you very much.
fantastic.
yes, very heavy,
Yeah, no, you know.
Yeah.
yeah.
That's
no,
why
done.
you hope you win two events that way, or at least get a
Yeah.
medal in two events,
Right.
then you can walk around the lodge with them clinking on each other.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
A little bit of
Definitely.
bling, watch it walking around.
this is really nice, and this is a very nice medal. And it's amazing how, well, like Davis, you've got a number of them.
Glad
well,
you
he-
mentioned that.
Davis has earned his in many
yes. How
different
many?
events.
Let me tell you, when I first met Davis, he had them on, and it was like, ooh, what's
Well,
this?
if I may, if I may,
In all due
I would-
modesty,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Do you
Well,
have a suitcase to
He
I-
has
roll
a-
them in?
I've just got a message to people out there, okay? I've got a story to tell. When I was 75 years old, I had been retired from playing basketball, which I did all my life from 10 to 65, and then I had an injury. I gained so much weight in the next 10 years that I had a stroke. I weighed 250 pounds. Can you imagine 250
God.
pounds
Wow.
on this body? My fighting weight's 185. I'm around 200 right now. But anyhow, after that stroke, I said, I got to do something. I don't know where it came from, but in my head I said, Senior Olympics. I said, all right, there's a thing called the internet. Let's see if that shows up. And it did. And I called them. They said, well, we're not really Senior Olympics, we're Senior Games. And I said, well, how do I get involved? They said, you have an organization in your state. Every state has an organization called the Senior Games. Some of them call them Senior Olympics, but there's another story. I said, how come I don't know about this? So they gave me a number, and I called. And I said, I want to see you, Mr. President, whoever you are. And I was so enthusiastic about what he told me that he dubbed me ambassador of the state right there on the spot and ordered me 1,000 cards. And he said, get busy, try to spread the word.
Spread the word.
And I've been doing that ever since. Well, long story short, I lost 50 pounds getting ready. Then I said, what am I going to do in the Olympics? Excuse me, Senior Games? They said, well, the president said, here's a bunch of stuff. I said, well, I was in track and field in college, so I'll do track and field, but they didn't have a mile and a 2 mile. I said, well, you know, I saw those people throw things. So he made me a gift of a shot put, a discus, and a javelin. I said, well, okay, I get some free stuff here, I'll just go out and try. I had never done that before, okay? Never. So I entered 5 events. And lo and behold, I won a medal in one of them. And I got that medal right here in my pocket. I won a medal. in one of them. I got so excited that I did a postcard that I've been handing out. There's my first medal. Now, I've been there 10 years, okay? Wonder how many medals I got now. I don't even know. There's so many I can't count. The last time I competed a full term, I had 11 medals.
That's wonderful.
Oh, that's amazing.
And not only that, that qualified me for the state, for the nationals. So, let me just show you what I got here. Just
Is that your national medal bag? Well, he's doing that. Let me just say that he's been the greatest recruiter for this organization that we've ever had. He is the former chairman. I saw him many years ago at the senior winter games, and he said, "Jeff, you need to get more involved." And so, he recruited me and, countless others on the board and event directors, and yeah.
Yeah. Hey, Kathy, this
Recruited
is-
me
Now you're
too.
on the board, Kathy?
I am.
Yeah, fantastic.
Yeah.
so this was
That's a great color.
this was just another of the same that I've got. It was
Yeah.
just that I do have about 50 of these. Okay,
Oh, wow.
That's the bronze medal.
Yes.
that was well. If it's a bronze, that was a 200-meter dash. I'm not very good at dashing. I had never done a dash. I had never done of these events that I mentioned to you. I'd never done any of them ever before in my life. Okay, and I
You
got
played
medals.
basketball in high school.
Oh yeah, I played, but now at the age of 85, I am qualified to play basketball in Des Moines
Wow.
this year.
Hey,
Right there.
congratulations.
Thank you.
Yay.
And I did it in New Hampshire.
Nice.
Okay.
Okay.
That's great.
Now, I have been to the senior games. I had never played shuffleboard in my life. In Florida.
Whoa, those are look at those medals.
You need to show that to the camera.
Yeah,
Show it out that way so
definitely.
they can see it. There you go.
Now, in Florida in 2022, I qualified for 9 events.
Wow.
I crashed on the track in my first event, and I missed the next 6 because I was in the hospital. But I came back and got this medal.
Oh, of course you
Nice.
did.
There you go.
That's wonderful.
I got a medal and a ribbon for my last 2 events.
And what were those events, Davis?
Shuffleboard.
Oh, okay,
Oh,
great.
yeah.
Yeah, a game
I
that
went
you've
on-
never played before, right?
Well,
I
that's a
never
cool
played
one.
before, and I came in second in doubles with a partner I had never seen before.
Oh, wow.
And I
Natural.
duplicated it in Pittsburgh
Oh, cool.
this
Oh,
past
I
year.
went out there.
Oh, those are,
Show it to the camera. That one's really
Now,
Yeah.
the reason I have this one in my left hand, there is a state that's got about as many people competing on a yearly basis as the Nationals. They have 11,000 participants every year compared to our 1,100. Okay. I want one of those medals from them, and this is Utah.
wow.
That's a nice
Wow.
one. Yeah.
Now, I have this one because at the convention, they put out these things that's showing off their medals. So I helped myself to one. No, actually, that's what they were there for. They were there to market their wares.
Okay.
As we did ours. We
Sure.
had some of our medals and T-shirts there. But I won't claim that I won this one there. The next time you see me with one of these, I will have won it.
nice.
Okay, hopefully.
There you go.
So I got so excited about shuffleboard that I am now making plans to play in as many states as I can afford to, and my wife can sponsor me on. Anyhow, and I've already got booked for Indiana in this
Nice.
coming June, okay?
That's
But here's my point. It's one of the most exciting things that I've ever been involved with. It saved my life, okay?
Yeah.
It really did. And it not only did it save it, it's given me a better quality of life.
Right.
And our motto is to stay fit, have fun, and make friends. And I'm rich in all 3 of those things as far as I'm concerned. So I just give us a chance, okay? We've got games there for people who are not track and field people. I mean, there's cornhole, there's shuffleboard. I'm making a transition now between the really hard rock okay, events,
Right.
to something a little
That
more.
anybody could do.
Yeah, that anybody could do. As a matter of fact, I've been invited to, okay, we compete in 5-year age groups to make it sort of like equitable, all right? However, in something like shuffleboard, as far as I'm concerned, you don't know what age you play in it. It's the number of people you're going to be competing against. I've already had somebody that's 20 years younger than me ask if I could play it, be his double
Oh, nice.
in Des Moines. So it's one of those things. But we've got those soft skills, like power walk, just walk as fast as you can,
Yes.
like cornhole, throw a bag of corn. Used
Exactly.
to be bean bags, okay.
Right.
Now it's corn bags.
So there's
Yeah.
something there for everybody. Now, I could never be a hockey player, and I've never been on a pair of skis in my life. So there's some things that I can't do, but there's something there for everybody. So give us a try. I'll put my medals away now.
Well, so when I
Don't.
first met Davis, he had about 7 of them on his
Oh,
neck.
I did not have that many.
Absolutely, and he was like ching ching ching. But right before I had met him, I was watching this documentary. I was trying to come up with some movies for my mobility company and showing how sports and fitness help people, get to a different state of their lives. And I came across this documentary called Ping Pong, and it was about all these older adults internationally, like all in different countries. And it was kind of their stories about getting to these games.
Right.
Because not only do these games go nationally, they go internationally. So there was the one documentary with this ping pong. There was this one story that I was so blown away by, me being my physical therapy background,
Right.
that there was a woman who was in a nursing home who was nonverbal and wasn't really moving and starting not to thrive. And one of the therapists had handed her a ping pong racket and set up in her bed like a kind of a ping pong table kind of thing. So he noticed she was interested in the ping pong paddle. So she started they would sit her up in her bed and she would just kind of start doing this. And she got herself out of the nursing home, started speaking, started walking, started thriving,
Wow.
because she found a purpose. And I
Right.
think
Yes.
with these games, it gives you that purpose.
Yes.
And it's about playing and having fun and
Right.
being social. And, she started playing with other people. And then it just went on that she actually went to the international games in China. I think she was from Germany, maybe. She went to the international games in China to compete. Like, she had totally changed her whole life and more longevity. And she never moved out of the nursing home, but she became their ambassador for like having people come in, and she would do tours and stuff like that. So
Wow.
it was just like it blew me away what
Absolutely.
that could do. And then I think I met Davis like 2 months later at a Council on Aging meeting with all of his bling on, and I was like,
is
"Wait,
this
we
guy?"
have this here?" Like that was like that was Germany and other internationally and stuff. And I knew that we had it in the U.S., but I think in the documentary people were from Texas or like it didn't really
Right.
seem like it was right here where I lived. And then here was
Lo
our
and behold.
It
walking.
was somebody who
Billboard.
should have been in the hospital there with his medal on, yeah.
Well, no, but like you said, it changed your life, right? And this is what I
Well,
believe that the games can do this.
One of the things I think I have discovered is that there's no limit to what you can do if you have a reason to do it. Okay? And you got to have a reason to get out of bed in the morning.
It's
A
that,
purpose.
that
You
purpose.
got to have a
absolutely.
reason,
Yeah.
or you won't.
Right. Absolutely. Yes. So you said that there is a senior games or a senior Olympics in every single state. There's a
Senior
chapter.
games.
There's a chapter in
is.
every state, and
Okay.
there's also Canada, and then the veterans also have
Oh.
one that is
okay.
separate, and DC has one.
Has one. Okay.
So there's like about 53 different senior games. The ones that were formed before 1985 called themselves Senior Olympics.
Okay. And then anything after
Well,
that is,
and the National Olympics organization wasn't paying any attention to them. Then when these seven guys in Louisiana got together and said, well, let's have a national senior games. Let's have a national Olympics organization so that the people who are playing in these states can get together and duke it out, sort of. And that's when the Olympics committee got involved, and they went to court about it. And what they finally decided was they'd grandfather the ones that already call themselves the Olympics. So you can go to Rhode Island and play in the Senior Olympics if you want to, but if you're going to play in Massachusetts, it's got to be the Senior Games. Now, I wouldn't mind. I got to be careful because I'm on camera. You know.
You gotta lean further back.
where you going, Dan?
I don't know, like, oh, you
Wouldn't
zoomed
it-
in,
wouldn't
you're
it-
not going anywhere
wouldn't-
now.
Yeah, no.
Couldn't I be famous if you know if?
Infamous, maybe.
Yeah. But anyhow, it's a great organization. But that's kind of the history about it.
Okay,
And
interesting.
we're here to stay and we're to grow. And the only difficulty I had when I first got involved spreading the gospel was people thought I was saying senior citizen.
Oh,
And I had to say, no, not senior citizen. I said, and you have been a senior at least twice in your life, and maybe 3 times. You're a senior in high school, you're a senior in college, and you might be a senior partner in some organization.
right. Good point.
So let's just put that to bed right now. But when you do get to be a senior citizen, you know, you'll be ready for it then.
Maybe.
All right, maybe, yeah. Well, if you do your protein shake and your exercise.
That's right. That's right.
Now, I think you told us before, you went to New Hampshire because you couldn't get that particular game here, right?
Well, what it was, I was not, there was no 85 age groups.
Really?
But how it really happened, I went up to a 65-year group that I knew, and I said, hey, why don't you take me on as a member? Because all I have to do is to play 5 minutes in some game.
Right.
And you can, and one of the things I meant to mention when I was talking about playing down, you can play down, but you can't play up in the games. Like, you know, an 85 can play in a 65-year-old if they'll have you. Well, they liked me because, you know, and they took me on their team, and they
Yes, they
didn't
did.
need me.
Oh,
And they were
didn't.
going to give me 5 minutes. Well, word got out to some guy in New Hampshire that there was an 85-year-old guy on his 65-year-old team, and he went and bought me.
Watch you.
I got traded.
Oh,
I got
okay.
traded, and I never played a game.
Yeah.
Now, the reason I knew that I was going to be popular because when I was chairman of the board, every year I used to get a call from this guy saying, he was calling everybody, you got another 85-year-old guy, you got an 85-year-old. And I would say no. Then when I turned 85, I picked up the phone and I called him. I said, well, I got one out here for you. He said, well, I've retired now. And that's it.
Oh, no.
But I made it. I
Yeah,
made it. I
you
made it.
did.
I had to go to, well, and I couldn't do it in New Hampshire because it was the day that 65-year-old team played, and I went to watch them play, that I got the idea, hey, listen, you put me on your team, then if I qualify, I'll go call this guy and get on his team, and you really don't have to deal with me just for 5 minutes, and, you know. So
I love
that's
your
kind of,
bartering your
so
way in,
well,
right?
you know,
What
I
was
read-
the sport?
basketball.
Okay.
Yeah, basketball.
Because I'm saying
That's my
it's-
love. That's my love. My mother
Right.
used to tell me that in basketball season I had fewer colds and everything, and you know,
Yeah.
that's just a testimony that if you stay fit, or you know,
Amen.
You live to play.
I love it too. Yeah. So I wish the injury back when I was 65 didn't affect me as much as my friend who retired to Florida. So, because we were the two old people. We played with guys that were 20 years old,
Oh, wow.
30 years old. I mean, we were still
Right.
playing with it.
Yeah.
And you think I'm in shape? I'm not in shape. This friend of mine in Florida, he's in shape. He's a Navy guy. He runs every day.
Wow.
Now, I don't run every day. I don't run any day.
Any day.
Except
No days.
except a 200-meter dash, and that's the only and that's only and that's only on Father's Day in Springfield, with the 80-year-olds that don't show up.
We don't suggest that to you out there. It's good to stretch and do some little bit of working out before
Take it
you go
slow.
pop something.
Prep a little bit. Yeah.
No, stay in shape. Okay.
Right.
I
That's the key.
I
Keep
kid a lot
moving.
about not being in shape, but I try to eat right and sleep
So
right
funny.
and work out once in a while.
Yeah.
Enough to play shuffleboard nowadays.
But there are some of the participants that are unbelievable shape for their age.
Oh my, yeah. Oh yeah, yeah.
When we were doing a radio show, I
Oh,
met
yeah.
some of them.
Oh yeah. You go to the Nationals though, buddy. Let me tell you. Whew. There's some people out there
Serious
that are
athletes.
really.
Yeah, you can't believe how great a shape they're in. And they're great at their sport.
Only on the back of one of my business cards, it's not around now. I got my name, my picture on the back of my business card now. But the first business card I made, I put the picture of this lady pole vaulter,
Yes.
65 years
Actually, I
old.
think it's on here, right here.
Oh,
right?
there she is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Would you say 65?
Yeah, she's 65.
65 in there, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Isn't that
You'd
amazing?
never know it.
No.
Well, she's
Isn't that
probably,
amazing?
Yeah.
she's 75 now, but she was 65 in that picture.
And she's still in great shape.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's amazing.
And still pole vaulting.
Yeah, yeah.
Thank you.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
You know, there was a
everybody-
father and son pole vaulting team that there's a. Oh, everybody should subscribe to the National Senior Games newsletter. There's an article every month on some spectacular athlete that shouldn't be spectacular athlete, but have overcome, and most of them have overcome something too.
Again, it gives them
It's
that
almost
sense of
like that's a
purpose.
prerequisite in a way.
Well, it's
Almost.
and it's inspiring for other people that are thinking that, oh, I can't do that. Of course you can.
Well, that's a reason for the interviews that we're going to put on
Exactly.
the Facebook during National Senior Games Week, March 17th to
I was
25th.
just going to ask you. And the dates are again March 17th.
March 17th to 25th. That should be something like a Monday to a Sunday or something of that order.
That sounds right.
Thing is, you're inspiring others that see how well you do. Okay, they can do it, I can do it.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Well, and you were talking about all the pickleball players, right? Like, if there's people who are playing pickleball that want to get more competitive or take their game to a different level, there's an avenue to do that,
Right.
right?
Yes, yes.
Like, you can, it's not just to be aggressive and be competitive, right? But it's to level up your game a little bit.
Right.
Take it to
Cha-
a different
give
level.
yourself a ch-
Travel
give
with
you-
it,
Give you a challenge.
Yeah,
Well,
find new people. Yeah.
Pickleball in particular, it's interesting because it's easy to pick up and at the beginning and be decent. But then it's a long way to really be good and learn all the strategy and so on.
Prevent
And,
injury and all
yeah,
that too, for sure, yeah.
And it's one of the very few sports where there's divisions, even now. Because it turned
Skill
out that-
in addition to
Skill.
age, skill
Right.
divisions, right?
Right,
Yeah.
Oh,
because the newbies, well, rightfully so, didn't want to compete with the experts, and the experts didn't want to play with the newbies. But in track and field, you just throw everybody in there together, okay. So,
Now,
anyhow,
all these games take place mostly at colleges, right?
no. The only college right offhand that I know is Springfield. They have like 5 events on Father's Day weekend. The rest of them are spread out in other towns, and you can find those towns on the Facebook, okay, on our
Oh, so
website.
The track and field, it might take place at a high school track and field.
It'll be the college track and field.
Huh?
Track and field is at Springfield College on Father's Day.
Harry,
Always.
the founder for Massachusetts Senior Games, I understand it, was a phys ed professor at Springfield College
Right.
back in '91. And so Springfield in particular has been very supportive of senior games, and not only in terms of providing facilities, but a lot of times they're students there, which a lot of phys ed majors, they get involved with us in terms of volunteer support as well.
Oh, okay.
If I may, Harry, just very quickly, I can carry you where some of the towns are. Okay.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
great.
that would be great.
Alpine skiing, of course, is going to be in Mount Wachusett. Archery will be in Lunenburg, June the 8th. Basketball and volleyball, track and field, and power walk, and swimming will all be in Springfield on Father's Day. Then we have shuffleboard in Tewksbury and shuffleboard also in Agawam. Disc golf will be June 22nd in Wilbraham. Bowling will be April 27th in Chicopee. Softball will be August in Springfield. Basketball skills to be determined. It'll be at some YMCA. Golf will be in Springfield. Billiards will be in Wilbraham. Triathlon in Greenfield. Cycling in Chicopee. Pickleball in Westford. And 5 and 10K in South Deerfield. Table tennis, Medford in October and December. Badminton, September the 21st in Westboro. And pistol will be sometime in September. And ice hockey, as we mentioned before, will be May 18 to 25 in Worcester.
You listed a lot of different sports too.
Yeah, there's a lot of sports there in a lot of different towns.
Right.
Yeah.
So there's like a 22 events in like 17 different locations.
Yes.
And we're trying
Now,
2 additional
there
clinics.
is a move that I support in bringing them all to one large weekend again. That way you can make a big splash and you can have press.
Yes.
We need press. And that's what I'm hoping it comes out of these 2 interviews that we've done today with the links. I'm going to spread those links around so that everybody will be able to see this conversation. I hope the whole state of Massachusetts will take a look at this interview here today.
So here in Kayla, let me also mention that we've tried to keep the fees as low as possible in
Yes.
all circumstances, just to cover our basic costs. But speaking as a veteran, most of the events are free to veterans, and also we're trying to attract new folks, so folks that haven't participated before, where there are fees and they may not be a veteran, we're charging those folks like 50%, so that again, for a first time, to encourage more participation.
Nice.
That's important for a lot of veterans. They're suffering from PSP. That really, those who participate in those sports can really be a help.
And what I'd like to do is I'd like to donate 50% coupons
Oh,
to you folks.
nice.
Now, actually what I've donated is 500 of them because you can duplicate those as many times as you
Okay.
want.
With my copy machine.
Now, I would have cleaned them up and made them look a little nicer because they're on a sheet, but you just cut them out and cut them and paste them.
Kelly's got this.
Or I will speak to the chair tomorrow, hopefully, and say, why aren't those on our website?
Good question.
Oh.
They should.
Yeah.
You got an answer for that one?
I'm only the vice chair.
Right,
Talk
exactly.
to
For the moment.
Dennis, yeah.
For the moment,
It might
Jeff,
be
for the
because we
moment.
don't want everybody knowing they're on our
Oh, no.
website. We go, but I don't know. You
What's
know?
that?
Right.
So it may be because we don't want everybody to know about it. I don't know. We want everybody to know about it. We just don't. Do we want to give everybody?
Well, then you can just put limit on, you
Limit
just
one.
put limits on that. Wouldn't it be nice to be able to say, well, I got a limit track and field, I got a limit
Oh,
shuffleboard,
gotcha.
I got a limit.
That would be
cornhole.
nice. Skiing.
That would be a wonderful position to be
Our
in.
limit is 100 for skiing, but we haven't reached that limit quite yet, so
You know,
we're happy to have
we,
that.
we have been close though.
Yeah, we have, indeed,
We've
yeah.
been, we've
Prior
been
to
90.
COVID, we were,
We
yeah,
were 90 and
Yeah.
prior to COVID, yeah.
Yeah.
Good to know. Let's beat it.
But I will say that skiing was the only event that was held that first year of
Yep.
COVID, okay?
Okay.
And we probably
Yeah.
had nearly 90 then.
Yep.
Wow.
Oh,
Can I
It's
ask,
the only one that COVID didn't take down, skiing.
so if you were in New Hampshire or you were in another state, could they come to these games?
Absolutely, but we love to give out medals. So let's say that somebody from Connecticut wins in a particular age group. We will give them a gold medal, but the top placing Massachusetts resident in that particular category would also get a medal.
Okay, so like an
So-
overall and then a Massachusetts.
Right,
Yeah,
so, you know,
gotcha.
we do want to encourage folks from other states to come join us, but not to the detriment of, you know, any of the Massachusetts residents.
Right, so I'm trying to bring us down a little lower, like South Coast in that area to kind of spread the word. Because a lot of, a lot of it is Central Mass and Western Mass, right? So I'm trying to squeeze us down, but with that, we're really close to Rhode Island. So like, that would be really cool to kind of get Rhode Island people
Well,
to
one,
come
one,
be
of, one of the
involved, or-
things, one of my visions is to consolidate that again in a large weekend, or maybe 2 weekends, and move it around the state. One time it's in New Bedford,
All right.
the next time it's in Worcester,
yeah.
sometime, next it's in Sturges,
Right.
and have the towns bid on it, okay? And come up with a little bit of, okay, we'll provide the venues for you.
It's beneficial to the town because it brings people into your town.
And
Right,
there are some
right.
states that do that and do that very successfully, okay? But we've just never, we have just not done it once. The former boards of directors decided, even the founder, the PT guy from Springfield said, if we're gonna grow, we're gonna have to move east. And there was a big debate about that, and history is my second favorite subject, okay? And I can see them in there debating that, because I've been in on debates of kind of like that, and then somebody said, well, let's just give it a try. And they moved one out, okay, and let's see how that works. And then the next year, well, you moved that one out, let's move this one out, and it goes to a different town. Oh, well, let's just spread them out to all the towns. Well, that's in theory sounded very good. But after 11 years of experience, I think the consolidation for at least the core, the ones that go to the nationals, the core ones, really should be grouped a little more than they are now. And once that happens, I would try to move them around the state, as I mentioned. Now, not everybody thinks that way, but that's the way I'm thinking. I didn't have any idea when I first started. I was just happy to be participating, okay?
Now, one of the things you want to do as well is bring the national games here, right?
I've been working on that for 11 years,
Yes.
yeah, and we were close once. But I don't know how, I'm still, the earliest that we can bring it here now would probably be 31 or 33.
Because they're already booked in other places.
They are booked out. They're booked out to, let's see, Tulsa. Wasn't that Tulsa, Oklahoma? Is that
Tulsa is Oklahoma, yeah.
okay? The next one is in Tulsa,
Well,
and then
you mean after Des Moines?
after Des Moines, the next one is in Tulsa.
Right, so Des Moines is this coming, July,
25.
late in July,
Tulsa will be
2025.
27,
Yeah,
and 29 it will be back in Birmingham,
okay,
and 31 was supposed to have been. The RFQ was supposed to have come out in January, but we haven't seen it. I'm waiting for it, so I can run down and see if the mayor in Boston will be interested. But we were,
when the governor's a basketball player, right?
Right,
Oh, that's true.
yes.
I didn't know that.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
So,
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, 5 years ago, 6, 7 years ago, whenever it was, early in the trying to get it to Boston, we had the buy-in of the mayor, and we had the buy-in of the governor, we had the buy-in of the senator, the old state senator president, and now Spilka, the new state senator president. There's the buy-in from her and the representative out in Springfield. I mean, there's no reason why we can't bring that here, okay? $50
Right.
million.
Yeah, and the facilities are there.
We have got
With
one
all
of
the
most-
colleges, absolutely.
Right.
Well, we've got one of the most magnificent convention centers that you would ever dream of. There's 2 convention centers in Boston, but either one of them would hold most of it.
Oh, huge.
Yeah, so, wish us luck and spread the word.
Yeah, that would be great. That would be a great thing. That's a
Thank
great
you.
way to climax
Well,
your
I might
career.
be starting a letter campaign, so you'll be on my list. But yeah, I think it would be a good thing. At least we could get some publicity. That's why for the consolidation, that's why for a big event, okay? Move it around so that everybody gets a chance to come. But
Right.
if you're in the Olympics, you gotta go where the Olympics are, okay? So, but there's a thing called local games that feeds. So we could have a local game right in your hometown there if you find an event manager, all right?
Absolutely.
Now, you know how I got my event managers? I'd have,
You
I'd have to-
recruited me, so yeah.
Yeah, well, John Reno is a fine example. He called me up one time and said, "How come you don't have a 5K, 10K?" And I said,
You just became the event manager.
he's not only doing that, he's doing cycling, and there's another one. I mean, he's just dynamic. I recognize talent when I see it. That's probably one of my best assets. Is I recognize talent.
Just a thought, what if
Okay,
each council on aging, there's one in every community.
350 of them.
yeah,
About, some towns do not, some towns do
Regionalized.
regionalize.
Region, yeah.
But what if each council on aging participated at a local level? Would that count towards
Be an
maybe
event.
a national?
Sure. What you have to do with the
Okay.
local, okay, is then you gotta get those locals to come to the official one
Okay,
for a playoff.
okay,
Like the one example we have is now shuffleboard.
right,
Last year we had a shuffleboard in Agawam and a shuffleboard in Tewksbury. Tewksbury was the first one. Well, not the first one. There was one way back before my time, but it got dropped. Okay. So what happened was, if there was an age group in Agawam that wasn't in Tewksbury, they qualified. But if there were competing age groups, then Agawam had to come to Tewksbury and do a playoff.
okay,
Ooh, that would be fun.
right?
So
Yeah.
I would support, and I don't think Jeff would disagree with me, I would support any local games. That I would support the idea of,
Absolutely. I mean,
Yeah. We just
it's
need-
really a grassroots type thing, and you get somebody that's
Right.
passionate about it, and things take off that way.
what I'm thinking of is, and I've got my wife to agree to buy one shuffleboard court. And I need to see your counterpart in Northborough, okay? And I may become event manager for that one, so you find somebody. You find somebody that will be an event manager, and I'll get you a shuffleboard court.
I have a shuffleboard table. I know it's very different.
That
There's-
is
that's
really
a different
cool,
kind
though.
of
I
shuffleboard.
remember,
Ever seen
I
that?
remember seeing that. That's
Yeah.
very
Oh,
neat.
yeah.
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 That's almost like golf and disc golf. We got Joni calling golf, real golf. No, I call it real golf. She calls it ball golf. And I said, Joni, when you say golf, we don't confuse it with frisbee
Oh,
golf.
right.
Well, we
Yes.
gotta sum it up.
Oh, wow.
What's the
Yeah.
best way to get a hold of Mass Games
The website?
website?
Go to, well,
Do we have a?
You could
phone number?
use-
Certainly, yeah, the three ways,
Massachusetts
right
Senior
off
Games.
the maseniorgames.org is our website, and there's plenty of information there. Also, our Facebook page and Instagram, what else?
I was gonna say, do we have a phone number to reach out to Joni?
There is a phone number that is on the website.
It's
Yeah.
a 413.
And if you're
Okay, yeah,
interested
so we have
in
a-
putting
can you
together
read
some
that off?
games, you need people to have.
Can I read it out
Thank
for
you.
you?
Yeah, every game has
There's
to have
also
an
a phone
event
number.
manager.
Right, so what you'd like is that people do is become event managers.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
right.
There's a phone number right
Yeah.
there, and that goes
Oh,
to,
okay.
we have one paid employee, I won't say full-time, but Joan Simmons is a retired professor from Springfield College, and she's very, very helpful and active in all aspects of this.
And
that's-
she's
She's
been
amazing,
around as
yeah.
long as the senior games has been around, so she
Okay.
knows a lot of stuff, and I'm very
Can
very
I
happy
read
to-
the phone number?
have-
Yes,
413-206-8560.
I got a different number here.
Uh-oh. What
Read
number,
that
what
one.
one do you have? Never
I
mind.
have 413-366-1147.
Go to
Do
our
that
website.
Well, she made that flyer, so I
Okay.
know that one goes to
Okay.
her.
Well, let's do that one. Read that one again there, Harry.
Okay,
The secret is, go to the website and use the numbers on the website.
there you go.
Okay. Excellent.
You got their phone number.
Yeah, and but like I said, though,
Oops, you're
you could even
good.
come up with new
Yeah.
games if you get someone that comes up with.
We need an event manager
Yeah,
who
be-
will,
be a
who will
event
oversee it, who
manager.
knows the rules, who will organize it and be responsible for its care and keeping.
And if someone in the local area is interested, they could work with the community center.
Right.
Absolutely. Like
Yeah.
I know in my area, it was, there's a malt company called Stone Path Malt that they do a cornhole tournaments all the time. That if there was a local COA, hint, Wareham COA, maybe they would do that, and just then they could be an event manager for, and work in collaboration with
Right,
somebody
yeah,
like
local
that.
business is interested in doing something like that.
Absolutely,
Yes.
absolutely.
Excellent.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
Well, thank you all for coming in.
This is wonderful.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you. We
Yes.
appreciate being
And good
here.
luck.
Hey, thank you very much.
Yes,
Yeah.
good
Good
luck
seeing you
this
again.
Great
weekend.
to see you.
You bet.
And tune in next week. I can't remember who my guest is off the top of my head, but we will have a show.
We all-
Harry's always here.
Yes.
Thank you, Harry.
Yes, thanks so much.